button, button.
Eggy Spaghetti back in the Spaghetti Lab. In the last video we had a push button that was interrupting the signal to a buzzer. In this video we're going to take that button and have it talk to the Arduino so that it can control the circuit. And I chose to not use the buzzer again. Instead it's going to turn on and off an LED when we push the button. Now before we begin, I want to ask you to think about if a button itself, the component in the kit, is this a digital or analog object? And if you're not very familiar with the difference between digital and analog, this might be a little confusing, but it's something worth thinking about, because on our button component, it is intended to act like a digital object, but in reality it is just a simple metal circuit. So it's technically an analog device with the way it operates, and then when we connect it to the Arduino, it takes on a digital property. This is important to note because if we want to do some more complex things with the button, we'll notice that the connection can be a little jittery because it's not a perfect device, and so there are ways of working around that jitteriness. Well, anyways, let's take a look at the circuit that's going to help us control this light, and let's jump in. The first thing we'll deal with is the button, and one leg of the button is going to go to 5 volts. This opposite leg is going to go to digital pin 2. Let's color that one red. And before it goes to ground, we need to put in a resistor. So there's going to be a resistor, and then that's going to go to one of our ground sockets. So that will take care of the button, and then the LED light, longer leg, will go to pin 9 on the digital side of the Arduino, and that is technically positive, so I'm coloring it red, and the other one will go to ground. I'll color that black. And of course, when we actually do it, I'm going to be using all kinds of colors of the wires. Okay, so let's now wire it up. Okie smokily, this is the open heart surgery portion of our program, and we are going to start with the button. The first leg that we said will go to 5 volts on the Arduino, and then the other leg was going to go with a resistor, and that will go over to ground, and then the other side and the other leg, we will send that one over to digital pin 2, and our button is done. And now we're going to do our LED, so keeping track of which is smaller and which is bigger. Longer side is going to go to pin 9, and shorter side will go and shorter side will go to ground. Now if all is wired properly, our light should go on. There we go. Perfect. You can see a bit of jitteriness on that last one. And okay, so we did it properly. For the code side of this project, it's pretty simple. We just go to examples, digital, and button. Now you can see it has set the LED pin to 13. The only change we're going to make is we set ours to 9, and it sets a variable for the button state to be a 0. It sets up it declares what kind of pins they are. So the button pin is a digital input. The LED pin is a digital output. So it's just going to flicker on and off. And now this program runs in the loop. It reads what's happening on the button as in the digital read. And using an if statement, if it comes back as being high, then it says with a digital write, make the LED go high, which turns on the LED. If we don't see that button as being pressed in, then turn off the LED. And that's all there is to this program. So that is the button being connected to the digital input of the Arduino. Now, one of the limitations of this project is that it's pretty simple overall. We just push the button and it goes on. But it doesn't really account for a more realistic use, which is maybe I want to push the button and have the light stay on without me holding my finger on the button. And for this, I'm going to link you to a tutorial called Switch on the Arduino website, which reviews in a bit more detail how that would be implemented. Because part of the problem as you move forward with the button is that it's not a perfect connection, and for more complex uses we need to attack these problems with code. And I'm not going to focus on that too much in this series. We're going to actually start to move in to look at some other programs and see how the Arduino can talk to some other software such as processing and pure data. They both allow for creating audio and video projects. So that's what's coming up soon. We also have some more components to look at, such as the RGB, red, green, and blue light module, sound detector, joystick, and a few other goodies are coming up that are a bit more involved than just the button and the potentiometer. Okay, we'll see you in the next video.